Hello and welcome everybody, it is Wes here, and today we're going to be doing If You're Not Talking With Them. Alright. It's been almost a month since I did this video, so I figured it's overdue at this point. So, for this particular video, if you're new to my channel, you can find my timestamps, as always, down below in the comments section. Just look for my name, it'll be highlighted and pinned. I put those there for your convenience, so you don't have to scroll through the video trying to find your sign, all right? This particular video is about an ex-partner, all right? And I understand that some of you have interest in an ex and others of you don't. So just use your judgment whether this is something relevant for you or not, all right? And for others of you, it might just be curiosity. But whatever the case, we'll see what comes out, and hopefully it's not too crazy. All right. The last thing I want to touch on is, if you need to get a hold of me, my email can always be found in the description box of my videos. And also, thank you for anybody that leaves comments on my videos, hypes the video, or likes the video, and those that have ordered personal reads. I do appreciate all of you. All right. And with any tarot video, including this one, doesn't matter if it's me reading the cards or somebody else, please remember that tarot cannot possibly resonate with every last individual situation. It's just not possible, all right? So if it doesn't make sense to you, and you're scratching your head like, boy, this doesn't sound like my situation, then don't make it apply, all right? There's lots of great readers on YouTube that read tarot, so there's really something for everyone, all right? And this is also not a cross-watcher reading, just so you know, all right? I don't intend this reading to be cross-watcher, but if you want to do that, again, I can't stop you, but I'm just giving you an FYI, all right? Captions are also available after 24 hours, so if you like to use subtitles or whatever, those will be available after the video processes. It generally takes 24 hours. So I would suspect it's the 24th today. It'll be sometime tomorrow on the 25th. It'll be available. Let's go to Aries. Aries. As always, you are going first. Feels good. All right. Hopefully none of my Aries are stuck in Mexico right now. All right. With all that crazy stuff going on. All right. Tell me about a person our Aries are not talking to. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Aries know? What can we know about this person? So we have the Strength reversed. All right. To clarify that or not. I don't think I'm going to clarify that just yet, Aries, but this may be somebody that either... Well, we'll just read it like this. The way this appears to me is somebody that you've given up on, all right? But it's possible they gave up on you. That's why I'm a little hesitant to be definitive on this, but my intuition tells me it's more somebody you gave up on, all right? For what reason? I don't know, all right? So we have 4 of Pentacles reversed that came out. I'll take that, but I don't think it's really going to change my answer there. This may have also been somebody that another card comes out. It says 10 of Wands, all right? So this could have been a situation, Aries, that it became very burdensome, or there was some ongoing issue or something that was really straining the connection. It became a lot of work, all right? It is also possible that one person felt like they were putting enormous amounts of effort or time into the situation, and it really just wasn't going anywhere. There could have, with this 10 of Wands, it could have been possible that there was the promise of more later, or things will get better. Just need to really carry that load for me, Aries, and you know, something will happen. In plain English, this could have been, again, a one-sided situation potentially, or it may have felt like that, where you were getting the promise of more later. And, you know, and so, you know, unfortunately, some people do fall for that, and it ends up becoming a bit draining after a while and disappointing when it's the other person doesn't really keep up or hold their bargain, or hold their side of the bargain. Tell me about this person that Aries potentially gave up on. How does this person feel towards Aries? This person they're not talking to. How does this person that Aries gave up on, how do they feel towards Aries? So we have the 3 of Pentacles. How else does this person feel towards Aries? It says 9 of Pentacles. How does this person see Aries? This person that's not talking with Aries. Let me see how they see you first. Ten of Wands reversed. So it's definitely on your side, suggesting that you... So this is beating a dead horse, essentially. It is somebody that is completely and utterly given up. So this person's aware in some ways that you're you're either just not putting that effort into them anymore, or you're just, you know, perhaps in the past you were, Aries, but it's almost suggestive, like this person's perspective, you're just not even trying anymore. All right. Now, in their feelings is a little unclear to me. We've got 3 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles. This does suggest the potential of this person seeing you as single and potentially willing to work on something with them, whether that's kind of coming back in the picture and seeing if you're open to, I don't know, going for another round. All right. Clarify the 3 of Pentacles. Wow, we got the 6 of Swords here. So 6 of Swords is amazing energy here. All right, because it does talk about somebody wanting to, if it is a situation that was complicated or confusing, or it had some issues in the past, this is somebody that wants to push it into a different direction, or try to give the impression to you that, hey, it could definitely be better, but first you got to give me another shot at this. All right. Again, this 9 of Pentacles energy is still, to me, a little unclear, because the question is, are they seeing you as somebody that is in a single position currently, or is that more referring to their energy? Because if it was in their energy, it would be more so they're looking for somebody that could be a long-term partner. So I kind of feel like it could go either way here. All right. So the only snag here, Aries, is that this person is definitely eyeing you. All right, but their energy is not really suggesting somebody that is going to approach. They're seeing you as an option, but the challenge is that it seems from their perspective like, well, Aries is probably not going to be very open to me coming back around, but I think this might be their angle on it, that if they did, it would have to be them trying to convince you that it could get better, essentially. Now, I understand, Aries. I pretty much kicked you out of the car and made you walk 50 miles to get back home with no cell phone. I understand I did that a few times, and I understand that I stole the rent and got you evicted. things happen, and I was going through a couple of emotions. And I understand that you have to call 911 a few times because I definitely did lose my cool a few times. And I understand that I poured, sugar down your car, but things can get better, it takes two to work as a team. And I understand that I don't even really know what that means, but that doesn't mean that, things can't change. Okay, maybe it's not that extreme, Aries, but who knows what kinds of ways this person will approach you. All right, we have full energy. So this person, in my opinion, Aries, strongly has curiosity for the potential, the idea that maybe there's still something between you and this person. What can we expect from this person that's not talking with Aries? Near future potential actions towards Aries. What can we expect? There's 2 cards. We're not going to take that. Sorry, this is a 1-card answer. So we have 6 of Swords. All right, here's my final opinion, Aries. Without question, whoever this person is somebody that I have no doubt in my mind was a individual that this was a classic situation of wanting somebody more than, wanting somebody that's either unavailable or it was an unrequited borderline unrequited love situation. This may have been a person that for whatever reason just was dragging their weight, or just you cared about this person more than it seems like they cared about you, all right? The only reason somebody would even give up on a situation to the point of 10 of Wands reversed, which is really bad. It's almost suggesting somebody has just had it. It's pointless. The only reason somebody would get to that level is because you have spent a considerable amount of your emotions, money, or time on this person, and it went around in circles or it didn't yield anything. And I don't know about you, but any person that is getting lackluster or a pile of shit set of results is probably going to give up. And it seems like that's what happened here, right? This person is not, in my opinion, showing any type of energy that is wow factor energy, but it is showing curiosity, and it seems that it's potentially relating to them feeling that you're potentially somebody that's single and available. They obviously probably know that. Either they have your Facebook information, or they're still able to see what you're doing, or you've told them. I don't know. We don't. Maybe you've kind of indicated to them in the past that you don't intend to see anybody. You're not. You're done. You're done. Whatever the case is, this person seems to have the impression that you're single and ready to mingle, right? If this person was to try and convince you that things could be better, it would probably be trying to sell you on some type of idea that I'm really sorry about all those times, or whatever happened, it's going to be different this time. That's the key here. It's going to be different. And if you participate with me, just need your to shake on this, that you're on board with this, then we can definitely probably take it somewhere. But I think the only issue is that this person may sell the story of something being better, but one would have to ask the question, did this person sell you this story before? Because if they did, then I wouldn't waste my time on it. But if you haven't really found this person to be much of a liar or anything like that, then it could be good. But their energy is not like crazy suggestive that they're going to do anything right now. It's more observing you, and there's interest in you, all right? That's what I got for you, Aries. My prediction is this person, I don't know, it's leaning towards they will attempt something, but not right now, all right? Just got to eye you up, sauce you up a little bit first. Well, maybe not sauce you up, but definitely eye you up. go to Taurus. I'll actually shuffle. Taurus. Tell me about a person our Taurus, the sign of Taurus, is not talking to. Who is this person? What can I know? What can Taurus know? What can we know about this person? 2 cards came out. It says the Fool reversed and the Ace of Cups reversed. So this was a situation, it would suggest, that attempted to restart and failed. For whatever reason. This could have been a reconciliation that was supposed to start and never did. There is one other possibility. It's also suggestive of losing confidence in a new beginning. All right? But either this person or you basically started to become hesitant or reluctant about pushing forwards anymore. All right. The Ace of Cups being reversed is quite negative because it is an opportunity card, and whenever it's reversed means that either that got flushed down the drain or somebody, if not both, we're just not feeling it. We're not interested. It can talk about somebody's emotions kind of switched off. The chemistry just isn't there. All right. And it's the Fool reverse can directly talk about sometimes a person not wanting to take a chance. They're seeing a lot of problems or risks, or they're just not seeing it go anywhere, so they're not convinced that it could lead to anything productive. So this seems like, again, suggestive of a person here that gave up. Either they did, or you can... I'm okay with you applying it to yourself if you want. Maybe it was you. I'm not really 100%. On that. So, whatever works, right? Tell me about this person that will just go with, I guess, that Taurus potentially gave up on, or they gave up on Taurus. What is their feelings towards Taurus? Person that Taurus is not talking to. So we have the 10 of Cups reversed. So we have some Pisces energy there. That's not good, because this person feels that whatever connection they had with you from an emotional level has either been damaged or it's no longer existing. All right. Another card comes out, and we have recovery, moving on energy. One would immediately ask the question, why are we here? Or why is this person here? Not we. Why are they here? Do have this 5 of Cups. The reason I'm saying that is their energy kind of suggests like they've already checked in their luggage at the airport, said their goodbyes, and they're pretty much 1 foot on the airplane already. So I have 10 of Swords reversed coming out. For what reason, I don't know. Could be suggestive of the Swords coming out, but not... Well, it would match here, but what I'm saying is it doesn't really tell us anything different. How does this person see Taurus? This person that's not seeing, or not talking with Taurus, how do they see Taurus? How do they currently see Taurus? Well, they see you as a cold and closed off fish. All right, the Queen is reversed here. So, I mean, they're shut off to you and you're shut off to them. So this seems like a situation that there's just not a whole lot of emotions to go around, if any. So the Queen of Cups, when it's reversed, is on the lighter scale. Taurus is suggestive of a queen that just isn't interested. What her reasons is, maybe she wants this. She's like, you only make 6 figures and I need 7-figure income to be interested. All right. That could be the lighter scale here. Or on the worst scale, the harsher note is she's irritated or just completely, I don't know, just completely lost interest because of stuff that's happened. She may have a negative attitude towards this person. I don't really get that it's heavy energy. I think it's more just a queen that is right now, unfortunately, just not feeling it anymore. All right. So this person just sees you as shut off. How does Taurus see this person they're not talking to? So it says the Hierophant reversed. So you may feel, Taurus, that this person has different priorities or different values to you. All right. So Hierophant is a little tricky sometimes to read depending on the situation, but it is a card in the upright that does talk a lot about sometimes traditional marriages, your values, your priorities, your religious freedoms, your spiritual values. It can talk a lot about routine, all right? More so like nuclear family structures, all right? But the reversal is kind of throwing that all up on its head. It can be, again, somebody that has just a strikingly different mindset or their values are aligned differently, all right? You know, you have to remember something. That's what's tricky with tarot is that you got to take in perspective of other different viewpoints. In other words, like here, you may look at a person and say, well, they have this, this is weird about them, or they got this issue, or they're doing that, which is kind of strange, or whatever like that. But from that person's standpoint, they may feel that everything they're doing is normal, and you don't get it, all right? So, in general, though, this may have been a person overall that you just, I don't know, questioning if they even wanted a long-term commitment. That is another possibility here, because this card can talk about marriage. So this could have been a Taurus that was like, this person probably ain't even wanting marriage. Or the idea of it just wasn't, I don't know, intriguing them, or they've made it known to you that maybe that's something they just don't really care for right now. Could that have changed that queen's heart? I don't know. Could have. What can we expect from this person that is not talking with Taurus in the near future? What can we expect? So we have Strength and we have Three of Swords. All right. This person will, unfortunately, it's suggesting hold back. It still says they're frustrated in some ways about the situation. The Strength is telling us that while, even if they are frustrated, if that is the case, or they're irritated about something from the past, it's just saying that they're not going to let it bother them. But it doesn't mean to say that they'll interact with you. The bigger question in this reading is, why are they here? Because this to me seems like somebody that left and you don't like them and they don't like you. Okay, well, that's a little harsh. Okay, saying that don't, like that seems a bit worse than it really is. I think this person's just disappointed is a better way to say it. What is this person's interest in Taurus? Why are we doing a reading about them? It says Three of Cups. Who knows what that's suggesting? Tell us more about the Three of Cups. It's like instead of a barrel of monkeys, we've got a barrel of women. Tell us about the Three of Cups. Why is that relevant? So it says Three of Swords reversed. What does this have to do with Taurus, though? To me, Taurus, this is not, again, still not, in my opinion, it's still not favorable to you, because it's already suggestive somebody that's separating, and then it's saying the reversal that they get over it, and the Three of Cups can be somebody that's going out to explore other options again. What is that? How did that help you? I don't really know. Somebody having fun, kind of re-entering the social life, entertaining other options. Doesn't mean to say that they're going on Tinder to F everything that walks. But it does suggest interest to explore. So I, again, still don't know how this is favorable to you, or what the tarot's trying to point out here is relevant. How does this Three of Cups, like, what does that have to do with Taurus? What can we know with this person that's not talking to Taurus? It says a new start. The Fool. And we had the reversal here. So evidently I'm reading this wrong. I don't feel like I'm reading this wrong. I just don't understand how this is positive to you. That's the only thing. Unless they are considering you an option, or approach you again. If this person came around the Taurus, or Taurus approached this person, how would, well, no, that's not a good question to ask. If this person came around to Taurus, how would Taurus feel about this person? If the person that's not talking with Taurus came around to Taurus for no reason, how would Taurus feel about that person? I have a king reversed here. I'm not. Yeah, we got too many cards here. No, we're not. All right, whatever. You know, I was gonna put them back, but you know, people are gonna flip out if I don't take them. We got Nine of Wands here, Two of Pentacles reversed, Page of Swords reversed. None of that is positive. We're still gonna pull another card here, because that is just suggesting, again, it could be suggestive more of a Taurus that's just still not interested with that. Two of Pentacles is not favorable. Nine of Wands is not good here either. That would just be like a Taurus having a negative opinion of this person. Like, it's an unstable situation. I've already wasted time into this. If this person came around to Taurus unannounced, how would Taurus feel about that? One card. I have two cards that came out. Whatever. We'll take this. I'm done with this reading. We have the Star reversed and the Knight of Swords. All right. Star is not good here, being reversed, because that is just suggesting a situation that may not have healed, or there's still problems or issues from the past. The Knight of Swords reversed can also talk about somebody that's unsure if they want to talk about it or discuss it. In other words, they could be holding it back. They want to say certain things that are frustrating them. I don't know. Taurus, here's my final opinion. If you made it this far into the reading, you're actually stayed till right to the end, because I know I've been rambling a bit here. To me, this seems like a very conflicting situation with an individual that it seems that you may not be aligned with. I don't know if that's truly true or not, but it kind of suggests it like that, all right? It kind of appears that it's almost implying on both sides are kind of emotionally closed off to each other. What is the exact reason for that? You would probably know best, but it seems like there was at some point something that started to halt the progression of this. All right. Either one person was going rogue here, or both of you just, it almost seems like both of you lost interest equally in each other, which is unusual. All right. This person does display some type of disappointment. In other words, if you're thinking they walked off scotch-free, it's not suggesting that. It's suggesting they're actually a little frustrated themselves about something, how something went, or what happened. All right. The challenging part about this is it kind of implies, as I said earlier, this person is probably going to look for different options, and you seem to be one of them. All right. In other words, despite what I'm telling you here, they still see you as an option. It does imply that there's potential. Doesn't mean to say it'll happen. It's just saying there's potential. All right. If it failed once before, then who knows? Maybe round 3 or 4 is still a possibility. All right. But it shows in your feelings towards this person, Taurus, not a lot of confidence at all. All right. This Two of Pentacles reversed is quite negative here, because that's almost implying that you don't even see the situation as very functional. Maybe you see it at times like it's just erratic. All right. This Nine of Wands here can also imply that you get put on edge at times with this person, or you feel like you're not always just open and free. It could also align with why this Queen is reversed. All right. Page of Swords reversed doesn't really tell us much here, but it can imply that you may feel that this person's just, what are they up to? You may be a bit wary about if they did, because I was asking if they came around, how you feel about it. It's implying that you wouldn't really trust why they're there. Like you may have doubts or something like that. And again, Star reverse, not good. Knight of Swords reverse, not good. I already talked about that. All right. I guess this is kind of a bit of a wild card reading. We'll just see what happens in the future, Taurus. I really just don't know what this person's truly going to do. The tarot seems to suggest this person's going to potentially still see you as an option. I mean, I don't know. That energy looked kind of negative to me, so I just don't really see that going anywhere. But I don't know. What do I know? Good luck to you, Taurus. Whoever this person is. Gemini. Tell me about the person our Geminis are not talking to. Who's this person? What can I know? And what can the sign of Gemini know? So it says the 10 of Cups. Clarify the 10 of Cups. Why is this person that Gemini is not talking to being described as 10 of Cups? Says justice. All right, we're going to come back to that because I have a feeling there's going to be some other more to this, all right? My preliminary, and again, this is likely going to change, assumption is that this is a person that you cared a lot about, or you had a lot of emotional interest in, romantic interest in, prospects for a long future. May have felt at times this person you had a good connection with. All right. Why justice is exactly here is still a little suspect. This can talk about trying to make something work with another person. All right, let's just see what else comes out here, Gemini. Tell us about this person that Gemini is not talking about. How do they feel towards Gemini? Come on now. So we have the Ten of Wands reversed and the Seven of Cups reversed. So we have Scorpio, Sagittarius energy. Tell me about the Seven of Cups reversed. What did they have clarity over? So it says the page being reversed here. So their feelings towards you are not so great, because this is almost suggesting that somebody kind of came to the conclusion that this wasn't going to go anywhere between you and them, Gemini. This Ten of Wands is suggesting either the situation was becoming too frustrating for them, or it was just becoming too much, like, I don't know. They felt like it was going to be more of a chore, or it was going to be a lot of work to make it work. Like, more effort than they're wanting to put in. All right. Now, the only thing I'm trying to say with that is, I know that sounds negative, like it's somebody just wanting to come in and kick their feet up and then get all the rewards type thing. I don't think it was that. It's almost implying maybe that this could have been a person, Gemini, that, like, in some ways was evaluating what are they actually getting out of the situation. I don't know if this was maybe from their side where they were viewing it as like they were doing stuff, or they were participating in a connection and they just didn't feel like they're going to get much out of it. I'm just saying that's a possibility, at least how I'm seeing it. All right. Because one would ask why this person decided to pass up on the opportunity or gave up on it. I don't know. How does this person see Gemini? Wow, it says Two of Cups, though. That's in your favor. Clarify the Two of Cups. One card comes out. Come on, man. What do we got? So we got the Hangman reversed. All right. So this immediately tells us, Gemini, that this person still, despite what I've just told you, still has you on their mind. All right. Hangman reversed here is not good, though, because it does tell us that there's, again, that is a card that, when it's reversed, often tells us that there is some persisting issue or problem that this person has been unable to rectify or solve. It is basically the Two of Swords reversed energy combined with being stuck. In other words, I don't know what to do. All right, and it's going to a relationship card. All right. What is the positive about this? It is still suggestive, as I said, you are, for whatever reason, either this person views you as an option, which tells me that there are things this person does value and does like about you. But one would ask why this person felt that it was becoming too much of a chore or wasn't going to go anywhere. That's the real question in this, because we've got a person here that's like, I like it, but I don't want it at the same time. How odd. How does Gemini see this person that they're not talking to? Got two cards that came out. Let's see what they are. I just wish we could just get one freaking card. So we have the Devil reversed and the Hermit. I am going to take this Devil upright. All right. Actually, what we'll do, we'll read this horizontal so I can give you both sides. Because in my opinion, it seems like it should be upright, but it did come out reversed. So we'll read it both ways. All right. This is suggesting from your side that this is either a person, Gemini, that for some of you, you may have come out of the situation with this person where there was indeed issues that were concerning to you, and there's a high emphasis on anything to do with insanity. In plain English, something that keeps reoccurring over and over again, and you're hoping for a different result, and that does not happen, all right? It doesn't have to be anything wild and like ludicrous to cause that. For example, this could be a person that if you, let's say that you're a big stiffler in time, like you hate it when this person tells you they'll be there at 7 o'clock and then they end up coming at 11 o'clock. Well, one time ain't going to be a big deal. But if this person keeps doing that over and over, maybe it'll get to you, all right? You don't know why this person can't just honor when they say something, they don't do it. It's something as simple as that, a reoccurring issue. And you keep hoping it's going to be different, and it's the same old story, all right? So this may be, again, a situation where you feel like something like that was going on, and you're kind of wondering what to do about it. The other possibility is you're coming out of it and just kind of reflecting on it, all right? To me, this seems like a person that, for most of you, probably have disconnected from and are kind of just wondering, if it did come back around, what would I do? All right. The Hermit does tell us about the road ahead. So one would ask, why is somebody thinking about the road ahead? This is potentially the anticipation that this person may come around again. Some of you may feel that, they would. To me, you're not wrong if that's the case, because it does kind of imply this person still has you on their mind. This could be for a Gemini that has the on and off, the start again, then it stops kind of situation going on. Yeah, I'm not going to change anything on that. Yeah. What can Gemini expect from this person in the near future? The person I'm not talking with. Says 4 of Wands. Here's my final opinion here, Gemini. Actually, no. We're not done with this reading yet. Why is this person being described as 10 of Cups and Justice? Person that Gemini is not talking with, why are they getting described as 10 of Cups and Justice? This goes to the Hangman reversed. It says Queen of Swords reversed. So it has something to do with this. All right, so that does tell us something. All right. So this queen is somebody, in this case, it's going to be you, Gemini, not talking. And it's going over to what they're thinking about with the connection. Suggestive here, this person may also have the impression that you're not willing to discuss with them, or you're not going to be open to this. All right. In my opinion, this is probably a person that does want to reconnect with you. All right. This is still a little unclear to me, because the reason why it's unclear is this more referring to something from the past here? If it was the past, it's pretty much what I've already told you, that this person gave up, felt, it wasn't worth pursuing. That's a strong possibility here. But the other possibility, Gemini, is that in the present, it's more suggestive that and the only reason I'm telling you this is because of this, is that they may feel that you are done with the situation and don't want to work on it with them anymore. In other words, if they came to you, you would just say no. All right. So in summary, this is a person that still has interest in you in Gemini. Why this went south, I don't know. All right. It seems to me, in my opinion, from the general energy here, that one of you started to get frustrated with the situation. All right. It's possible that both of you did. Whatever the case is, there's a high possibility that you guys did have a pretty good connection as far as your, talking with each other. There was probably some good times when you were laughing with each other. Things were going well, but that seems to have kind of faded away. But even if you guys are separated, this person still in some ways thinks about the connection and thinks about you and them. All right. It is suggestive of them wanting to reconnect with you. All right. But from your perspective, it's almost suggesting, as I told you, that there could be some concern of a reoccurring problem that you're either wondering one of two things. Is that still going to be a thing? Or is it past? In other words, if this person came around, would that be an ongoing issue again? All right. I don't think this person is showing in very confident energy. It almost implies like they're not very, that even if they came around with energy like this to you, that you just, you just wouldn't really, I don't know. Your attitude towards them just wouldn't be that great. I think this is more like reflecting that they're anticipating you to like kind of reject them a little bit, or display low interest. All right. I don't want to say reject. Let's just say low interest. All right. Maybe it has something to do with this, that you're just like, yeah, we keep going around in circles. All right. I think a key thing in this reading is there's some repetitive little issue that keeps repeating. All right. A cycle of some sort. All right. Do I think this person, if that is true, do I think this person's aware of it? Absolutely. I think this person is aware of it. All right. This is why justice would be here, because it's, hey, I know you're probably a little sick and tired of me at this point, but we don't have to do that anymore, because it turns out I'm a reformed person. I would just like to know if you'd like to take this reformed person for a test drive, if you know what I mean. All right. This person probably has the sales pitch skills of a used car salesman. So, with that being said, buyer beware. All right. Good luck to you, Gemini. Hey, Gemini, do you want the warranty service too? Would Gemini want the warranty? If this person tried to sell Gemini a relationship warranty, would Gemini be interested? It says you probably would do it. If it meant improving and moving to calmer waters. I guess so, Gemini. Some of you may be interested in their used car salesman warranty. All right. Well, at least there's some hope for this situation, I guess. If at the right price, I can do. Oh, Lord. Cancer. Oh, Cancer. There's always something exciting for the Cancer reading. All right. Tell me about a person that is not talking with the sign of Cancer. Who is this person? What can we know about them? What can I know? What can Cancer know? It says the Four of Swords, so we have some Libra energy. This is a person, Cancer, that has checked out. All right. Either you've moved on from this person or they have. This to me seems like a situation that ended. Whatever, if there was any frustration, misery, or annoyance, or bad feelings, or curiosity, that's probably past at this point. It's almost suggesting that it has transitioned. All right. So it's not telling us a great deal just yet. Tell us about this person that Cancer moved on from, or they moved on from Cancer. How does this person that's not talking with Cancer feel about Cancer? I'm going to take that. It says 2 of Swords reversed. And it says 4 of Swords. Wow. We'll definitely have to clarify that because we have inconsistent energy here. Tell us about the 2 of Swords reversed. Card comes out. It says 4 of Wands. So we're going to make a correction here. Irregardless of what this is saying, it is completely conflicting that, because in their feelings it's suggesting they have not moved on. Okay. We know that because they are directly a connection. There's you and them with a little mini you, a little ankle biter. And if you're like, Wes, I didn't have any kids with them. Well, maybe it was a cat or a goldfish or a dog. Just replace it with the kid, all right? When it comes to tarot, you really have to use that imagination, right? So this person's still unsure about connection potentially with you. And we have 4 swords here, which tells us that they're still transitioning out of this, which is confusing because it describes them as... So I'm going to read it like this. This is describing more so a person that you believed or have the impression has moved on. How does this person see Cancer? Person that's not talking with Cancer, how do they see Cancer? It says 5 of Wands reversed. So this person views you as somebody that they either A, are no longer pursuing, or B, this person feels or sees you in some ways as a person that they came out of some type of conflict with. If there was any drama, problems, issues, that's dissipated, all right? But I don't personally get the impression it is that Cancer. This is more probably, this card can talk about competition over somebody. It can talk about pursuing somebody. It can talk about having relationship options, you know, going on Tinder. I hate bringing fucking Tinder up, but I mean, it is what it is. But, you know, having options, right? Right? Just because you can go into the dating market doesn't mean to say that you're going to go and land the first date. It's going to then work out to a great relationship. You may have a lot of duds, right? Right? It can be frustrating, a bit of a challenge, finding the right person, right? That's why this card can talk about that in some ways, because it is a challenge card. It's competitive, right? But they're seeing you as in the reversal of this. So this tells me that, in my opinion, like they stopped pursuing you or something. This reading's a little tricky because the way that I'm reading or looking at it, it could really go both ways here. It's like one would ask, did you give up on them? If I'm honest with you, my what it looks like to me is more a Cancer that potentially gave up on this person or lost interest. And the only reason I'm saying that is because of the fact that they're still showing interest here. All right. The only other possibility is if they gave up, they gave you the impression that they have no interest. Then if that is true, then it's saying the opposite here. That's not the case. They still have it in their mind. In other words, let me try and make Cancer think that I'm done with them. But even if that is the case, Cancer, it doesn't mean to say that they're going to pursue you. It's just showing that you're still on their brain. That's all it's saying. You know, you have some real estate in their brain. Unfortunately, you won't be able to collect property taxes on it. Oh, okay. How does Cancer see this person? If this person came around to Cancer, how would Cancer see them? Card comes out. It says the Tower reversed. This is not good here. This Tower being reversed. Now, some people in tarot, if they're reading tarot, could read this and put a positive spin on it, because they can talk about, okay, well, somebody that I had a blowout with or something go awry with. But the reversal of the Tower can, in the best case, look at a situation that's past, it's over, we had a blowout, but I'm just seeing this person or this situation as that, just that. It was a situation that didn't work out. But it doesn't mean to say that you're going to avoid it. It just means that you're recognizing it for what it is. It was a failed situation or something that you had a blowout with. But it can also talk about the potential to move on from that. All right? But I don't know. I'm hesitant to say that, because to me this kind of seems like you would view this person more as somebody you already know it just failed. I don't know what other word would really describe this, right? Whenever a tower, I don't really care what it is, whenever a tower has occurred in a situation, there is a good reason for it. It typically means that there was something major that was a very big problem, all right? And whenever towers, I don't know, this is just my opinion, but if we go in the spirit of the tarot, whenever towers appear, it's already, in my opinion, either some spiritual thing that God is pretty much intending for to happen. In other words, it's like you were supposed to meet that person, it was supposed to happen, it was supposed to teach you something. The only real question is, was it supposed to be just a lesson and you move on? Or was there future plans for both of you to come back around? Who knows? I think the Tower is really a very spiritual card. So, because it kind of, in my books, aligns a lot with predestination. In other words, there were certain things outside of your control, and one way or another, you are going to arrive at this Tower. The only question is, with who? I suppose it could just be you, but not in a relationship reading. Alright, so what can we expect from this person that's not talking with Cancer in the near future? Wow, we have the Queen of Cups and we have a King of Swords reversed. Tell me about the King of Swords reversed. Why is it reversed? So we have this Ace of Cups reversed. Take that. I mean, we don't really have to clarify this. I would have taken that Ace of Cups reversed, I think, over the King. But this is very evident to us that one person is open and one's not. All right. Why? Actually, no. I'm going to get a card. Why is the King reversed? What's causing that? What is causing the King of Swords to be reversed? It says Temperance reversed. So this is suggesting, Cancer, that this King, this would be, okay, having the King upright in this scenario would be highly favorable. But the fact that it's reversed is not, because it tells us that this King is either shut off or intentionally ignoring, refuses to talk, or has issue with the person. All right? And then it's talking about the temperance being an issue here. So that's telling us that something doesn't work between the both of you, or there's been disharmony or imbalance between the both of you. This reading is hella confusing because it's a real question of who's doing what, or is this mutual? That's what I can't figure out here. Some of you may not even be pursuing this person or have any intention to do so. So one would ask, why does it show you in Queen of Cups energy? It's your own energy. Why would it show that you're open to this person still? You see them as Tower reversed. This king being reversed also aligns with this as well. So we've got a king here essentially that doesn't really know what they're essentially don't know what to do with this situation, because it's like great. There's the potential, but there's problems at the same time. Like how do you have both? You can't. I don't know, what a strange reading. Also have Lovers here. Tell us more about the Queen of Cups. Card comes out. It says Seven of Pentacles. That doesn't tell me much. What is the challenge for this situation between the Queen and the King? Oh. Well, it says walking away. And it goes over the Four of Swords. Problem is, this is not just walking away. It is either somebody had to walk away, or they did. Yeah, either they had to walk away or it was voluntary. In other words, they, this tells me, Cancer, that there was, at some point, there was some major issue. So this kind of suggests like somebody had to leave. There wasn't much of a choice here. And that's a challenge, apparently. Here's my final impression, Cancer. We could get lost in this reading all day long. All right. There's a lot of different potentials with this reading. A lot of different ways to read it. All right. That's the only downside to this reading. I think it's quite telling. It's just there's too many variations that could be possible here. All right. Overall, this seems to be a situation, as I said earlier, defined by this tower here, telling us that it was probably a situation that had a lot of potential, a lot of things going for it at one point in time, or there was a lot of synergy between the both of you. In what way, I don't know. But whenever, as I said, towers appear, they're quite significant. That tells us that there was something not going to plan, or there was something the universe was seeing as problematic, or again, two people coming around, interacting with each other, and it wasn't healthy in some ways. Who knows what the exact reason is for that? All right. It seems to me at some point this person, I'm assuming this person, potentially had to walk away or leave the situation. All right. I'm only saying them because the king's reversed here. All right. This king, whoever that's being described here, the one that's not talking, it's suggestive, is still kind of not like, I'm not saying they're infatuated with the situation, but it's not showing them as past the situation. It's like they're still in some energy of this lingering. In other words, there's probably baggage that's lingering, emotional baggage. This person's still looks at a relationship. But here's the kicker, and something I really want to point out here. Even though this is positive, Cancer, in my opinion, this is probably somebody looking at the perfect scenario where there's none of these problems. In other words, the potential that this could have been something really good, but for whatever reason that they may, with this reversal here, be coming to the inevitable conclusion that they're just kind of seeing that it's impossible. Like, you know, there's no solution here. This is like a reoccurring theme, in my opinion, with this reading, is that it's like almost like wanting something, but there's no solution to it. I don't know. This seems like it's also suggesting that you two are kind of at a distance, but things are neutral right now, right? It shows you open to this person, right? This Seven of Pentacles, in my opinion, doesn't really tell me a great deal or anything of relevance to talk about, all right? But I will say that it does, for whatever reason, suggest a Cancer that's more optimistic towards this person. Your energy doesn't seem to be as chaotic as this person. All right. But again, this, if I had to take a guess, this is a lot of the chaotic energy is all on this person's side. Like almost 100%. Right. What do I think this person will do? The tarot's actually suggesting like heavy conflict with this person, so less likely this person will approach you. I'm not even sure, in the best case, if you were to reach out to this person, would it even do anything? It's almost implying there's not a great reception to you. It's saying something about the past here, having to, like, either you leaving the situation or walking away or leaving things or something like that. That seems to be some type of problem. For what the exact reason is behind that. In other words, it's an influencing factor in probably what this person's thinking about. No, actually, I'm done. That's what I got for you, Cancer. Weird reading. Don't know what to think of it. All right. Good luck to you. Very conflicted person. But what is the positive of that message? The only positive is this person still seems to have interest. You're still on their mind. But what they're going to do with that, I don't really know. All right. Seems like it's all a them problem. Leo. All right. Hope all my Bargain tigers are doing good. Regular tigers and regular lions are doing well. All right. Tell me about... I just had this for Cancer. I'm going to reshuffle it, but I think it'll probably make an appearance again. Tell me about the person that Leo is not talking with. Who is this person and what can we know? What can we know about this person? It says Tower. Wow. May definitely want to check the tarot or Cancer reading out. Well, they had it reversed, but could be some synergy for like Cancer, Leo, cusper. That's, I don't know. Well, yeah, that would be possible. So if you're Cancer, Leo, cusp sign, then this could be a synergistic reading with Cancer. All right, tell us more about this Tower. Oh, death here. Person that Leo is not talking with. Clarify the Tower. Oh, shit. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords reversed here. Oh, God. And we have this Queen of Pentacles reversed. We won't read too much into that, Leo. We'll come back to that. Tell us about the person our Leos are not talking with. Who is this person and how do they feel towards Leo? So we do have 5 of Cups reversed here. How else do they feel towards Leo? We had a card come out. We have the Hangman reversed. Tell us about Hangman reversed. Why is that in their feelings? Card comes out. Says the 6 of Swords. What is causing the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords to be reversed? Says a failed opportunity. Wow. So this is immediately telling us, Leo, that something did not go well. Just trying to think. What's tripped me up is in what context this is really suggestive of. How extreme is this? Because Tower is never good. All right. I kind of did touch basis in the Cancer reading quite a bit around the Tower. I talked about it. So please, again, you can check that reading out. All right. I think there's going to be synergy here. So I'm not going to talk too much about the Tower, but it's bottom line, it's never good when it shows. All right. It does talk about the potential between you and this person as, I don't know, having a spiritual connection as possible, or somebody that you had a lot of synergy with, but for some reason there was a blowout. Okay, what caused that is the real question. All right, it shows you basically being entirely shut off. Whatever caused that Tower to occur. And the Ace of Pentacles reversed is one of the reasons it's citing, which tells us that if there was some potential for a connection or a new chapter or a new road, it got flushed down the drain, or the opportunity got passed. The question is like, what caused you to be in this energy? So evidently, whatever happened with this Tower turned you off quite a bit. It's possible that whatever the outcome was or the ending between you and this person didn't favor you very well, Leo. And this person's energy is showing the 5 of Cups was upright at one point, but it's showing reversed in their energy, suggesting that they were disappointed by something that happened, but it's telling an exiting of that. This is further suggesting that. Moving on to calmer waters. All right. But it's showing them still heavily uncertain. So they're contemplating it, but there's something that's still bothering them, not making sense of something. So my impression is this person is reflecting on this situation between you and them, but they may, whatever causes this tower, they may be wanting that to pass. So the tower could be suggestive of if someone was cheating, high possibility, you found the phone or something, tower happened, obviously that would blow things wide apart between you and them, right? Now, I'm not saying it's cheating for everybody, but I'm just giving an example, because wouldn't that be the case? I mean, if you were with somebody and everything was going hunky-dory and they're telling you they love you and whatever, and then suddenly it's just how life, how spirit would have everything set up, that they happen to leave their phone unlocked and you go through it and you start seeing everything, and then boom, that would cause a pretty big blowout. So that is an example there, all right? This person may have gathered that and been like, that sucks. But it's suggesting like they got over it now. So I'm not saying it is cheating, but I'm just using that as an example. All right, so you can get some idea of where I'm going with this reading. All right. So evidently it's a Leo that's disappointed with this person. The person that's not talking with Leo. How do they see Leo? Wow. 5 of Pentacles. So if they see you as somebody they're very estranged from. You guys are shut off to each other. Hard times. Bummer. Why is this person not talking with Leo? So we have 4 of Pentacles and Death. So it's pretty much implying this person's just focusing on themselves, and it's not really giving much of a any crazy reason other than they just see it as, well, it is what it is. Death is a card of endings, all right? Now, something to keep in mind is that while I can't talk about endings and things kind of burning to ashes, there's always that potential for a new start. If there was a building there and it burned down, well, you can clean the rubble up and you can make a new building, all right? So there's a foundation for something different, all right? But it's just showing that this person is focusing, however, on themselves. So why they're not talking? Well, they just see it as over and they're focusing on themselves is what it's saying. All right. 4 of Pentacles is a self-preservation card. It's more of the I cards in the tarot. The only other card that's also very similar is 3 of Pentacles reversed, which is another I card. This would be entirely possible here, Leo, if this reading highly is synergistic with cheating or like a marriage falling apart, because I could read this as like if this person had to move into another apartment, then yeah, they wouldn't have a whole lot to their name. They're trying to get some furniture and everything like that. This would be just that, saving money, being careful of spending. We got these queens here were at one point upright. So the reversal tells us that there was mature energy in this reading. Could have been a definitely high chance of a failed marriage here for some of you. All right. What is this? What can we expect in your future from this person that's not talking with Leo? Wow, there's the 3 of Pentacles. Here's my final opinion here, Leo. So as I've said, this seems like a person you disconnected from overall, all right? You may have had to leave the situation. It kind of seems like whatever happened was more leaning that it had something to do with them. High potential, as I said, for cheating being a thing in this reading, or discovering something being exposed. It doesn't have to be cheating. Maybe there was something else, all right? But it would have to have been something shocking or really bad that caused a sudden shakeup in the connection. In other words, like yesterday was Diamonds and Pearls, you're having dinner date and watching a movie, and then the following day you guys are, something just went south. An argument, fight, I don't know. All right. It does suggest this person did have some, if that was true, things ended. It does suggest this person was quite upset at one point, saying they've kind of got over that. This person does have thoughts about how to repair or mend or work on things. All right. That is a focus in their mind, but it is suggesting they don't know what to do, what the best solution is. The Hangman, when it's reversed, is oftentimes telling us that there's not as such a straightforward answer to what is bothering this person. All right. This person feels disconnected from you. It's probably just how they're looking at it, that either they feel that you don't care anymore or you just don't want to deal with them anymore. I don't know. All right. This person is focusing on themselves, as I told you. All right. And it does suggest there's interest for them to want to mend things with you. All right. Work on things. All right. If that ever happens, it's probably not going to be now. It'd be in the near future somewhere. All right. It still shows this person just like in a contemplation stage right now. What the defining factor is for them to reach out to you, if at all, I'm not sure. But I would think that there's probably some concern about a Leo that would probably just, again, if it was like a cheating thing, you wouldn't forgive them. But if it wasn't anything to do with cheating, then I don't know. What would cause such a big shakeup like that for you guys to separate? So what is the only positive in this reading? The positive of this person still, in some ways, is hoping that something will mend between the both of you. That's what it's suggesting. Where it goes after that, I don't know. I don't think this person has particularly high confidence that it'll go anywhere with you, but there's still hope. All right. Good luck to you. Virgo. All right. Tell me about the person our Virgos are not talking to. Who's this person? Wow. We have the Four of Swords. I'm going to give you a heads up right now before we even start this reading. So far, all the readings have suggested somebody that's wanting to come around to repair something. All right. So we'll see if this is any different. This is suggesting someone that is either getting over something between you and them, or they're on a timeout. All right. This card can generally talk about very low, pretty much actually more absent communication. It is somebody taking time to themselves to get over something. All right. There could be lingering thoughts about the connection. All right. You know, anytime, even if a person has made their intentions clear, they've moved on, they're doing their job, or whatever like that, the fact that they're still thinking about a connection or reflecting on it, thinking about good times, tells us that they're not entirely done with the connection. Doesn't matter if you guys both, I'm just saying theoretically, told each other it was done, or they told you it was done. I don't know. But it is still showing something around that. But so it's describing a person that potentially, in my opinion, is not going to be done with you, but we'll see what comes out. The card comes out. Wow, we have the page here. So again, I'm going to stand by what I just told you. All right. This is likely a person that wants to come back in the picture, or has interest to do so. Tell me about the person that's not talking with Virgo. How do they feel about Virgo? So we have Nine of Swords. So this person, again, definitely not done with you. How else do they feel? This tells us that you're on their mind a lot. And you have the Nine of Wands here. Person feels a bit guarded towards you for some reason, or they feel that you're guarded towards them. Clarify the Nine of Swords. Why is this person thinking about Virgo? What's bothering them? The Ten of Wands reversed is bothering them. In other words, the total collapse of the situation and potentially you giving up on them. We don't know for sure, but Ten of Wands, when it's reversed, is generally speaking, it's quite negative, because it can go as far as, and I said it once in one reading today, it's like beating a dead horse. You know, sometimes you just got to know when that horse ain't going to get up. And this is kind of a card that's teetering on that, where it's like, this may not recover. Evidently, this is bothering this person, that it may not ever improve between you and them. All right. This is quite possible that and I'll let you kind of make the interpretation, Virgo. It's either they feel that you are a bit guarded and defensive towards them, or maybe they feel it's mutual right now, that you guys are a little tense with each other. You can kind of see it's like the wolf coming through here. Okay. Person that's not talking with Virgo. How do they currently see Virgo? Card comes out. It says the Magician reverse. Unable to, they see you as a situation or a person that they could not get it going with, or the means to do that, it just isn't there right now. There's no potential. Again, we already know that. So their energy is very, very aligned, which is good. Why is this person not talking with Virgo? It says the Nine of Pentacles, because it's not moving forwards between you and them at all. So the Knight of Pentacles would be positive. It would be highly suggestive of things moving forwards. But we already see that that's not the case. So this person is essentially looking at it like, what's the point? What is the challenge in this situation? Why is this friction here? What's causing that? It says the Three of Cups reversed. Bad times. Or things things not going well. Three of Cups, when it's reversed, is Cups energy. And whenever it's reversed, it can talk literally about like two people getting married with each other and then, or having plans to get married with each other and then the whole thing falling through. Well, that wouldn't be very good, would it? All right. You can talk about failed connections with people. It can talk about just bad vibes, bad mood, apathy, depression. All right. Life throwing you a curveball where suddenly it was all good, diamonds and pearls, and now it's a pile of shit. All right. There's a million different things it can show with Three of Cups being reversed, but generally speaking, there's a lot of Four of Cups energy with this card as well when it's reversed. In other words, there was some issue, and the question of why was it like that? Why did that have to happen? All right. Okay, Three of Cups reversed. I did see one other reading that kind of suggests the potential of cheating in the past or something like that. I don't like to talk much about cheating on this channel. All right, I try to avoid the narcissism and the cheating kind of topics when possible, but it's possible today. All right. The Three of Cups, when it's reversed, can talk sometimes about third-party connections getting in the way that it disrupts the connection. All right. Maybe a rendezvous with the ex could have done it. I don't know. All right. One would ask why is this tension going on here? Why is everything so shut off? Okay. It's definitely showing some type of regret. So I'm just saying that's possible. This person does want things to move forwards though, but it's not happening. How does Virgo view this person they're not talking with? It says Page of Cups reverse. Wow, that's quite negative. So you're not particularly thrilled with this person. Suggesting. You may feel this person's unapologetic for some of you. You may feel this person doesn't say the right things or fails to do that, or just really is a little immature, responsive sometimes, or says things that just irritate you or don't make sense to you. All right. The problem with the Page is it's immature energy and it's also a lot of mixed energy with it. It's not a consistent page. It's a page that you're scratching your head more so than you are making sense with it. Like, what are they wanting? What are they trying to do? What can we expect between Virgo and this person they're not talking with in the near future? Saying nothing. Unfortunately, we have Three of Wands reversed. It's not good. Why are we doing this reading? Card comes out. Oh my god, it's way back here. Eight of Cups reversed. Oh boy. That is returning to a situation that failed. All right. Here's my final opinion of this reading. All right. This energy, while it's consistent, does show somebody that's still evidently thinking about you, Virgo. All right. This is probably a Virgo that, for whatever reason, got annoyed with this person, or you had enough of the situation. It kind of almost suggests loosely that it's a Virgo that's more just fed up or done with the situation, or you're just not really seeing any potential with it anymore. All right. This person seems to be bothered by it. It kind of gives us a suggestion of that. It also implies that maybe their effort is more kind of being held back because of the fact that they kind of seeing things aren't going anywhere, or there just isn't any potential. Is it possible that they're being negative about it? Yeah. But maybe they have some other justified reason for that. Like, I definitely know Virgo's not going to want to talk to me after what happened. I don't know. I'm just theorizing, all right? It does loosely suggest maybe a third party kind of something to do with that could have been a factor. But again, not conclusive on that, but it's possible, all right? You may not, again, as I pointed out just earlier, you may not particularly like this person's behavior or how they kind of handle things, all right? The only real question, in my opinion, is what is the point of this reading at this point? Because it kind of implies like a stalemate or it's not going anywhere. It's suggestive that this person still does have some interest in you, all right? I think it's implying that they have some small intention to try and resolve something with you, to find a way to kind of see if you guys will reconnect again, all right? This, again, is telling because it suggests of a situation coming back together. Somebody coming back to it, okay? I'm assuming them, but we'll see if that's the case, all right? But just because somebody comes back, it does suggest here with this card that even if they do that, it doesn't mean to say that the problems have left, all right? That still needs to be addressed, all right? So, I don't know. That's what I got for you, Virgo. Take it or leave it. All right. Seems like you've got a person that's still not quite done with you. But are you done with them? Yes, Wes. I'm done with them. The spirit guides have told me I am done with this situation. No. Oh my god, brain fart. Libra. We're doing Libra. Alright. Libra. How are all the Libra people doing? All right. Tell me about a person our Libras are not talking to. A person the sign of Libra is not talking to. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Libra know? Card comes out. It says the Page of Wands reversed. Okay. So this doesn't tell us a great deal, but it is suggestive of either a person that is not talking with you currently, The page is a strong card of communication. The reversal is suggesting that that's not occurring. Or the other possibility is nothing is starting. No action is being taken. Even if there's an opportunity there, it's not being pursued. Or it's being wasted. Or someone's just sitting on it. Okay. We don't need to actually clarify that. Tell us about this person that is just doing nothing. How do they feel towards Libra? The person that's not talking with Libra, how do they feel? No. Well, I almost took that card. We're not going to take it. So it says death reversed. How do they feel towards Libra? This really wants to come out. I'm going to take that. Card comes out. We have devil. Oh, womp womp. Alright. Tell us about death reversed. Why is that reversed? It says Six of Pentacles reversed. Womp womp again. Why is the devil here? Why is the devil in this person's feelings? Oh, Jesus. Alright. We have two cards. I didn't look at them, so we're going to just get one. Okay, one card comes out. We have Three of Wands reversed. All right. Whoever this person is somebody that definitely is not viewing the situation in a very favorable light. All right. There's some sense from this person that they're feeling that the Three of Wands reversed is not a good card because it's going past the Two of Wands. In other words, that there should be progress or movement forwards, but the reversal is telling us that that keeps getting stalled or it's getting stuck and can further lead to wasted potential, opportunity that's going nowhere, and a lack of communication. And the fact that it's going to devil tells us that that is a repetitive cycle or some problem that keeps occurring. Either communication keeps having issues or it keeps going nowhere. I mean, if something kept on happening over and over again, that's a problem, all right? This person is still in death reversed energy. Evidently, they haven't figured out a clear way to move past this yet, so it's still on their mind or affecting them. When I clarified to it, what is causing them to be in this reversed energy with the death? It's saying Six of Pentacles reversed. So there's some sense from this person of one-sidedness. The problem with Six of Pentacles energy is it's very closed off energy, and oftentimes it can talk in scenarios with dating where one person is getting more than the other, all right? Now, here's the thing. Is that true? I don't know, all right? And in what context? I don't know. You may feel, the thing is that the disclosure part here is that you may feel that it's the opposite way around, all right? We're not here to understand the madness here, Libra. I'm just reading it as is. So I understand some of you are going to be like, that is not true. It's all them, all right? Maybe that's true, all right? I'm just reading what's saying in their feelings, all right? This person feels that maybe this was, I don't know, like a bit of a time waster. Is what I'm trying to say in plain English. But it's almost like they're bothered by it. But this could be the case where it's a Libra that was deliberately shutting off, which gave them the illusion that they weren't getting much from you. So you were shutting off for a reason, and then they were reading it as you being selfish. In other words, you weren't doing much. And there's a card on the ground here. What is it? We have this knight here. I don't know. It was on the cards, or on the floor, so we'll take it and see if something connects with it. All right. How does this person see Libra, the person that's not talking with Libra? How does this person see Libra? So this person still sees you as potential. All right, even though it was like a turd that got flushed down the drain before, there's still something there. There's still a spark. So they're seeing potential. We got a queen here that's reversed though, so one would ask if she's even interested. All right. We got your two of swords. Why is this person not talking with Libra? The person that's not talking with Libra, why they're not talking? Card comes out. It says King of Swords. Clarify the... What is that? I want to take that. So this does align with the king. So we're going to take that. So this is the king waiting on communication, it says. The knight here would be a little conflicting though, because the one would ask, is it them that's reaching out? This shows actually someone that was, it would almost imply it was, but now it's shifted to this energy, which would be not doing that anymore. I'm not really sure. Well, yeah, maybe. How does Libra see this person you're not talking with? Card comes over the king. Says the devil reversed. Evidently it's suggesting you've detached from this person. How are they in this energy and you I mean, look at you! I passed that. Well, actually, no. You may get it. It could be suggested actually that you get the sense that this person's detached from you. That's possible too. How does Libra feel about this person they're not talking with? This may not apply to some of you. All right, just take it with a grain of salt. See what the tarot says. We can figure out the devil reversed energy. It says 5 of Wands. Okay, so your energy is a little bit more resistant to this person. 5 of Wands can talk about that you might feel that there's tension between the both of you, or potentially there's other suitors in the picture, or some other issue going on. All right. What is the challenge in this situation between this person that's not talking with Libra and Libra? What is the challenge? You know, we're not going to use this. Let's use the dark blue. Wow. Strength just popped out on its own, so maybe we'll take that. So apparently some challenge is a problem. Overcoming a challenge. Tell us about strength. Tell us what else is that suggesting. It says 10 of Wands reversed. So what it's saying is the challenge is essentially that there's a bit of a collapse or a giving up energy that's already present. So it's saying trying to overcome that. Why is that probably occurring? Because it's whenever this is reversed like this, it's telling us that whatever the situation is, there's some type of repetitive issues or things that keep wearing down on the situation. Now, the question it's asking is, can those be overcome or can they not? All right. 10 of Wands, whenever it's reversed, is quite negative because it's at the point where one or both people have by and large just not even thrown in the towel. They've already, like, they're in another state. They've already left the building. They just like, fuck it. I don't even care anymore. All right. It can breathe like concerns around a hopeless situation, like it's that bad. All right. but what is the only positive in this reading? The only positive is this person still sees potential for some reason, but I'm just not seeing where. This doesn't really synergize well with that. Why does this person still see Ace of Wands with Libra? It says because they're contemplating it. So it doesn't mean, so that's why. All right. So we'll have that as a clarification. They're trying to see things from a different angle. What is causing Hangman energy? What is the crossing energy? Or the challenge? It says balance, making things work. Wow. Here's my final thoughts on this Libra, right? To not make this excessively complicated, this to me seems like a situation that two people that unfortunately ran into some, I'm assuming, repetitive problems, all right? There must have been something here for them to do that. In other words, a Libra that invested time, but it's also implying that this person did too. It seems pretty mutual in the energy. It doesn't seem like, I wouldn't think this was like a short kind of situation. It must have been going on for a while. This person, at least from their standpoint, is seeing it more like kind of a one-sided situation, or they felt that maybe you were being, I kind of gave you that example earlier, that maybe you were shut off for some other reason, but they read it, that you were just not trying, or there was very little effort on your side, all right? If that is true, this person viewed it very negatively, is what it's suggesting, all right? This person is aware in some ways, like there's some reoccurring issue that keeps stalling or delaying the situation that seems to bother them. There is some interest about where this will go. You have the Fool here, which is positive. It shows your energy, Libra, that's pretty much not putting effort into this. In fact, all of your energy is suggesting very low effort towards this, which kind of tells me that, I don't know. In some of the readings, it's been a little mutual. Like, it was suggested in one reading that that sign would be willing to kind of work on it. This energy is not showing that. It shows somebody that's just not, like a Libra, that's really just not that enthusiastic for this person. It shows this person more receptive, but even if that is true, like, there's still all these other issues here. All right. This person does seem to have contemplation on the potential to make something work with you, but I mean, I don't really know how they're going to pull that off if your energy is kind of shut off to it. So it's saying overall, as I told you, that this is a situation that seems to be kind of holding on. I don't want to go, I mean, for some of you, it's not going to be by life support, but it's talking about that as a challenge. That you got two different people that are viewing it maybe from not the best angle, and it's saying it's like weighing things down from, so it's almost like holding on to the negative. Like, what is the effective solution to that? I don't know. All right. But anyways, that's what I got for you, Libra. What will exactly happen is kind of unclear, unfortunately. I think the only person that seems to have optimism, true optimism, is on this person's side. But even then, it's marred with all these other issues and things like that. I don't think this person will directly do anything towards you right now unless something magically changes, or we'll see in the future. Good luck to you. All right, let's go to Scorpio. 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 Hopefully we'll have an interesting reading. Kind of find, at least from the past experience, your sign sometimes has something usually a little different than the other signs. Tell us about a person our Scorpios are not talking to. Who's this person? What can we know about them? Says the Five of Wands reversed. We have Leo energy there. This is probably a person that you're no longer pursuing, and it is somebody that you are just neutral with. All right? It's not very revealing with this description. Tell us about this person that's just neutral with Scorpio, or Scorpio stopped pursuing. How does this person feel towards Scorpio? Person that's not talking with Scorpio. 1, 2, 3. We got 5 of Cups here. So there's disappointment on their side. That is Scorpio energy. And it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I still have to count the cups with these cards. We got 6 of Cups. That is contrasting energy to the 5 of Cups. Clarify the 6 of Cups. So there is nostalgia. We're not reading all of the stuff that's on here. Alright. I will show you that. Alright. Because there is nostalgia about you and them. Alright. We can see those birds flying off in the distance. There's them. Probably wondering if you're with somebody else now. Poor me. Poor me. I keep thinking whenever I see this fucking card from this deck, it's like the Winnie the Pooh Eeyore. Poor me. Scorpio rejected me again. Scorpio's never gonna want me. Bummer. There's just me watching everybody else have a good time. Wish I could have that. This may be a person that's regretting some decision. Maybe the grass wasn't greener after all. How does this person see Scorpio? The person that's not talking with Scorpio, how do they see Scorpio? It says 9 of Cups. Evidently doing well. Has Pisces energy there. Why do they see Scorpio as 9 of Cups? Is there anything else I can know? It says Ace of Swords. What in the Lord does that say? Well, maybe it's not you doing well. This is talking about something that they don't have transparency over, or is clouded. 9 of Cups. The only reason I'm hesitant about this is because this can be a wish coming true, or something one person had a vision for. All right, and it already shows them in nostalgic energy here, which tells me that you are some type of object of desire that didn't work out. All right. There may have been more potential. This person may have had more potential or thoughts about you and them having a future together that may not have been known to you. All right. Why is this person not talking with Scorpio? Person that's not talking with Scorpio. It says 9 of Swords. Okay. What else is this? I have this another 9 of Wands. We're not going to take it. Tell us more about the 9 of Swords. So we have Death. So they are bothered by why things have ended between the both of you. And if things will ever start again. I also want to take this too. It says 10 of Swords, which does match here. Okay, we'll take that. So there is some like split energy here where this person is kind of looking at the potential but also the ending. Whoever this person is definitely has a strong, there is cups present, which tells me either this person has strong water qualities or is a water sign. All right. This person is less likely air, given how they seem, well, I don't know. There could be a little bit of air here with the 9 of Swords, but it seems like this person's a very emotional person. And if you're going to tell me that they're cold, well, then they do a really good job of hiding it because it shows up in their energy strongly. This person could be very sentimental, but, you know, with being an emotional person can also sometimes say that, you know, they can be a bit dramatic or over the top sometimes. Or way too much on certain things. In other words, like an air sign will be able to move on from things very quickly, which gives them that cold appearance. But someone that has a lot of cups energy tends to make that known, like, yeah, it just sucks, but you know what it is. I know I've told you that story several thousand times at this point, but what's one more? I always knew you were a sucker to hear it 700 times. I just don't want to keep hearing why I'm a bad person. Well, I figured you should know. How does Scorpio see this person that they're not talking to, this nostalgic person? How does Scorpio see this person they're not talking with? So we've got the Judgment here. Tell us more about Judgment. Why would Scorpio see this person in Judgment? You may get a sense here, Scorpio, that this person's already, in your opinion, made their intentions known through their actions or their words. You already have a sense on, despite what I've told you here. All right. If I hadn't told you any of this, we'll just read it as you may feel like, have some sense like this person is just doing them. You already get a sense that they have a direction, they know what they want. So that's it. So actually, let's ask how you feel. This may not apply to you. All right, just take it with a grain of salt. How does the general Scorpio collective feel towards this person that they're not talking with? Take this or not, I guess so. We've got 8 of Pentacles reversed. And how else does Scorpio feel? A card comes out. It's this 9 of Cups again. How is it possible that both of you have this in your energy? What is so significant about the 9 of Cups? Why is that important? Says action. There's still desire for each other, but it's showing on your side problems making it work with this person. What is the challenge between Scorpio and this person? What was the persistent challenge? So it says the Nine of Pentacles. Could have been somebody that was still kind of acting like they were single. Like, are we in a connection or not? What else was a challenge between Scorpio and this person? So it says the Knight of Cups reversed. Here's my final opinion, Scorpio. Whoever this person is, there seems to be some type of misalignment with, I don't know, the behavior. Is it on both sides or just more so one side? That is unclear. All right. Whoever this person is seems to still have nostalgic interest in you. All right. You both share some sort of interest and desire for each other, but it's more in a wish form that, you know, in my opinion, the potential of like it could have been, you know, if the right conditions were there and maybe whatever issues in the past were gone, it would be a really good connection. Maybe on paper it should work, right? But it does suggest for whatever reason it just didn't. It didn't work. It's suggesting as the challenge, one of the potential reasons why, or an ongoing issue that may have led to the failure of this connection was one or both people were acting relatively single or independent, almost like they weren't in a connection. This Knight of Cups reversed is quite negative because really when there should have been the love, hey babe, I love you, there wasn't much of that going on. And it shows from your side, almost like with the Eight of Cups being reversed, that there was wasted effort. Like whatever was being worked on, or if there was any issues or problems that were trying to be addressed, wasn't going anywhere. What's the point? All right. There still seems desire here. And this person is kind of, why they're not talking, seems to be a bit in split energy where they're looking at like the ending still. But then they're also looking at the positive of it. So their energy is actually a little split here. In other words, they're looking for transparency, or they want transparency over potentially, I don't know, maybe your stance on things, or if it could still work. But it's showing with the Ace of Swords reversed there like a bit of moon energy, like there's clouding or uncertainty around that. This is strong, though. I do want to highlight that. That tells me that there is something probably in both of your alignment where there's a higher chance than normal that you guys will come into contact with each other again. All right, I'd be very surprised if it didn't. All right, that tells me like there's, you know, when two people are manifesting the same thing, it can lead to paths crossing again. But that doesn't mean to say you will get back together. It just means that life could potentially put you and this person on the potential path for it to reconnect and go somewhere. But whether somebody's actually going to go along with that is a whole nother story, because you still at the end of the day have the illusion of choice, in my opinion. I say that because I kind of feel a lot of life is predestined, but like in other words, your outcomes are already chosen for you, but you know, apparently that's not the case. But I don't know. Anyways, that's what I got for you, Scorpio. All right, it seems like a person that is still kind of manifesting you, but right now, if this is accurate and it's true, then it's suggestive here. There'll still be a bit of a timeout period. After that, it's just a question of who reaches out to who first. Yeah. Good luck to you, Scorpio. All right. I think this person still has interest in you, which is another positive. All right. But if that is true, they're still kind of looking at the positive angles of what was, not what is now. Sagittarius. Tell me about the person our Sagittarius are not talking with. Who is this person, and what can we know about them? What can I know about them? Person that Sagittarius is not talking with. Says the strength reversed. So this is probably a person that you, either they gave up on you or you stopped putting effort into them, or there was some other underlying issue where you started to just kind of lose confidence it could ever resolve. All right. Strength is a strong challenge card. It can talk about life's many unpredictable issues and problems that get interjected into situations. The only question is, what are you going to do about it? Do you have this spiritual fortitude to manifest a positive outcome? Right? And even if you do, can you stick with it? Because sometimes, it's on God's time. It's when is that going to happen? Is it a week from now? Is it a month from now? Who knows? All right. Some people just say F it and give up. They're like, I'm done with this. Don't want to waste the time. Life's too short. All right. We have this 8 of Swords reversed. I'm going to put it as a clarification next to the strength. This may almost suggest another suggestion that at one point this was a heavy, maybe there was a lot of stress going on or overthinking. There was a lot of obstacles, but somebody just decided that, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I'm not worrying about this drama no more. I'm done. No. So could this be a Sagittarius that felt that way, or was it them, or was it mutual? You be the judge. Tell us about the person that is not talking with Sagittarius. How do they feel towards Sagittarius? How do they feel? Use the Darkwood Tarot. How do they feel towards Sagittarius? Okay, maybe we won't, because I'm not getting much out of that. Let's use this. I like the colors and everything of this deck, but it doesn't shuffle well. When they designed it, they didn't take into consideration that somebody actually has to shuffle these. It would look good. Well, how about shuffling? Does it shuffle good? Oh, yeah. We kind of had to cut costs, so we used wood instead. Ooh, I don't know if wood's going to really work. Just send it. That's in my mind what probably went down with this deck, but whatever. I feel like I can't even bend these cards when I'm shuffling. It's crazy. How does this person feel towards Sagittarius? Person that's not talking with Sagittarius. Come on out. Card comes out. We have a king. Okay. How else do they feel towards Sagittarius? We do have this pentacle here. I'm going to take that under the king. And I'm going to take this Fool reversed. And I'm going to take this. All right. And there's the strength reversed as well. Or I'm going to take that too. And I'm going to take that. All right. How else does this person... Actually, we really don't even have to draw anything else in their feelings. Wow, that actually tells us a story right here. Okay. Let's look at the king first. In this person's feelings, it's showing... with the king, it is a strong thinker sign. It is strong air energy. Anything with air is going to be logic and reason. All right. Clarifying to it is this Ace of Pentacles, suggesting getting one's foot in the door or having the potential for something to restart. All right. In career and financial, this is strong for new job opportunities, founding a business, taking a chance on that. In relationships, it can just be simply. What's step one in a relationship? You have to have some sort of contact with the person. Could just be saying hi. Anything that could build some type of rapport or trust with a person. To say, hey, I'm not a pile of shit. Do you want to talk to me? All right? If all goes to plan, you have the beginning of a foundation. All right? Where else will this go beyond that is another question. All right? Now, going to this pentacle is the Two of Swords, which is another air energy, which is fitting with this king, because it tells us that this king is trying to contemplate two very important things that are on their mind. All right. On the right sword, it is talking about the Fool reverse, which tells us that this would be a king contemplating the idea that there's no point. I don't think I want to chance it. I don't want to take a chance on Sagittarius again. Probably wouldn't work out. All right. But on the other side, we have the Strength reversed, and we have a Knight there. All right. This is telling us that even though the Strength is reversed, that there's still a Knight that could potentially come forwards towards Sagittarius, offering their cup. But it's also saying that just because they would do that, it's saying their confidence that it would work is not good. All right. So in plain English, what it's saying is this person feels that if they came towards you and tried to offer their cup, the outcome of it or the potential for it to go in their favor is quite low. All right. They're not confident with it. On the other hand, they're contemplating that just do nothing, essentially. All right. Just do nothing. See what happens in the future. But put no effort. All right. How does this person that's not talking with Sagittarius see Sagittarius? This card wanted to come out. It says Three of Wands reversed. So they see things are not going anywhere between you and them. All right. It is a stalling energy and a card that describes very low, if absent, communication. All right. This card can also suggest that if there was anything that somebody was putting effort towards or waiting on or being patient with, they've by and large given up. In other words, they've lost hope that it's going to push forwards. So they're seeing this situation as stalled. Why is this person not talking with Sagittarius? Okay, a card comes up over it came up, so here was that, and it came over like that. So that's telling us this Nine of Cups in the reverse position is very negative in a tarot, because it tells us a wish not coming true. This is somebody that, again, has probably lost faith in a vision or a plan, all right? This is also something where somebody put a lot of effort into something and it didn't yield anything, all right? It can be failure, bad outcomes. So it's, again, applying that whoever this king is somebody that has a strong pessimistic side, unfortunately, to them, all right? There seems like there's some glimmer of optimism that's trying to come through, but it's very clouded with negativity. In other words, like there's what's the point kind of energy. Being Cups energy is not good either, because it also tells us that their attitude or their perspective from the emotional level is quite in the gutter a little bit too. Which it already shows that. But just because I'm saying that does not mean to say all is lost. How does Sagittarius, if this person came around to Sagittarius, this person that's not talking to Sagittarius, if they came around Sagittarius, how would Sagittarius see them? So it says Four of Cups. It's not the greatest. Because that is going down to disappointment. And, well, not this totally disappointment, but it's going to, and this is like somebody, it would be like a Sagittarius that is viewing a situation where you're not saying it's totally garbage or bad, but you're just looking at it as lackluster. Like, I already dealt with that. I know I'm gonna get. Like, yeah, you're not getting excited for it. Why would you be excited? It's because it's almost pointing that you had a lot of visions about things being great and stuff, and it didn't happen. So it's like you kind of already know what you're going to get. How can you get excited for something when you already know what you got last time? How does Sagittarius feel towards this person that's not talking to Sagittarius? Wow, it says Lovers. And it went right over the 9 of Cups reversed. So evidently you still, irregardless of this, it's suggesting a Sagittarius that still has some type of chemistry to this person. Now, I think that's by and large suggestive of the past, because it's telling us that while you might have had this lover's energy, potentially this could have been somebody you felt you could have spent a lot of time with, or you had a good connection with. Despite whatever the positivity out of this is, it's suggesting that you didn't quite get that full experience. This is like, in plain English, like a person that comes across somebody that they have high expectations for. Like, this could be it. And then you come to find out that it's like, God, there's this problem, there's that problem, or this not going to plan. And it's like, it starts to become a bit of a letdown. And you're like, I really had high expectations for this to go far. What was the challenge between Sagittarius and this person? This person that's not talking with Sagittarius, what was the core challenge? What was one of them? What is a reoccurring challenge or issue? Oh, we're going to use a different deck. Well, we do have 3 of Wands here, and we have 4 of Pentacles. I'm not going to directly take that, but I did note that this was an issue before. Well, I'm going to read this still, because this is telling us that one of the issues could have been that one person, or both, were in self-preservation energy. In other words, there wasn't enough consideration for the other person, or both were doing that. In other words, they were matching each other's energy. That's possible for some of you, and others of you, you may have felt it was just more the other side. But 4 of Pentacles can be somebody that just is wanting the glory and things for themselves. It doesn't like directly talk about that, but the reason I'm pointing it out is because it's a card where somebody has a scarcity mindset, or they're holding on to what they got. All right, if they have like $10,000, well, technically from some people's standpoint, they have money to spend, but that person may feel like, I need more. So they start becoming selfish. Like, I want to have $100,000. Okay. You can kind of see this guy here getting all the credit, and then all these people here giving him offerings and things. It's somebody that wants attention, wants to have things their way, be in the spotlight. It's pointing like that is an issue. And then, again, the 3 of Wands, we just discussed that being an issue, right? So in plain English, it could have been saying that there was too much focus, not enough as like a unit or like a team or a connection, and there was too much focus on like, I got to worry about myself, So am I saying that you were doing that, Sagittarius? You be the judge. At the end of the day, you're the one that knows your story best. Were both of you kind of like that? Or is it, I know some of you will say it was just them, which is fine. All right, but why does Sagittarius have 4 of Cups energy towards this person they're not talking to? Card comes out. It says the world. It didn't cross into a new chapter. It wasn't growing, essentially. Why wasn't it growing? One more card. This is my last card, and I gotta end the reading here. Why would it suggest the connection wasn't growing? Well, give me one more card. card does come out. Let's see what it says. It says Lovers reversed. Wah wah, the opposite of what you wanted. Alright, look at that. Well, alright. Here's my final impression for this reading, Sagittarius. This to me sounds like a situation that had high potential to go somewhere. Maybe on the preliminary expectations that you had, or maybe even this person had. I think it was mutual. Both had expectations for this connection to go somewhere in the past. It seems that what killed the connection is suggestive that there could have been, unfortunately, a lack of teamwork, or somebody, or both, started to focus too much on themselves. Like, maybe they're, I don't know how to describe that in the best way, but I'm not saying it's selfish, like you're being assholes or something like that, but it could have just been like worrying, like losing interest or perceiving things in a certain way where the effort stopped or was getting kind of switched down. Like, you're not seeing them do this, so I'm going to hold back a little bit, and then they stopped and started matching your energy. I don't know. It seemed like the interest started stopped. It was like, instead of the chemistry between each other, it actually started growing apart, right? Which led to things moving forwards and then stopping. It's almost implying, right? There seems to be on both sides almost this manifestation of something manifesting into something good that didn't come into fruition, right? It shows on your side disappointment, and it almost implies that there might have been high expectations that this was going to go far, and for whatever reason it started lacking, didn't grow, and evidently it failed, right? I think this person, the positive here is that this person is still considering the potential, as I told you earlier, of coming towards you, but they don't seem confident that you would bite the bait or it would go well, right? What will actually happen? I don't know. It's really whatever this person decides, all right? Good luck to you, Sagittarius. That's what I got for you. Kind of a complicated situation. While there's a lot of negative, the way that I kind of said it in this reading, I still think there's potential, because one would tell me that you did have strong interest in this person, so maybe I wouldn't entirely give up on it, just see what this person does, but, you know, for some of you may still be interested, so. Capricorn. All right. Tell me about a person that our Capricorns are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know about them? What can I know about them? What can Capricorn know about them? Person that's not talking. Well, I got a card. So it says the Hangman reversed. That energy has come out a couple times today. Tell us more about the Hangman reversed. Why is this person being described as Hangman reversed? So this is a person, and I already know all of the readings, all of them today have followed a theme. All right, so this is suggesting already somebody that is dwelling on whether or not things can improve between you and them. All right, I'm only saying that with confidence because I've seen this message multiple times today. So it is a person that, while I'm saying that, that the hangman being reversed is somewhat negative because it tells us that they're not coming into any conclusion. They're just wondering about it, or they're focusing some type of thought on the idea of you and them reconnecting, improving, or what would that look like? How would I do that? And if that was a potential, what would I need to do? But going to the hangman reverse is unproductive. It tells us that they're not, again, drawing some conclusion to it. It's just there. You know, they're thinking about it, wondering about it, but it's not leading to anything. But it does show us that it's a focus. So how does this person that wants to move forward with Capricorn but it's not doing it, person that's not talking with Capricorn, how do they feel towards Capricorn? So we have Seven of Swords and Page of Pentacles. This person is focusing on some way to approach you, especially with the Seven of Swords being there, which suggests that, again, confirming this hangman reversed energy, this person is a heavy thinker. The only reason they would have to invest this much energy to do this is if they already know that it's not going to be so straightforward approaching you. In other words, I better be careful. If I actually do want to approach Capricorn, I have to be strategic about it. I can only think the reason somebody would do that is if your attention to them is in the toilet, or you've already told them before you don't have any interest anymore. Hopefully they're not blocked, because then, yeah, that would make it, they would definitely have to think of a way around that. But this to me seems like more of an energy of how do I approach Capricorn without getting rejected or things just not going anywhere. How else does this person feel towards Capricorn? We also have five, again, I'm going to take this, Five of Pentacles reversed. It's Taurus energy. This person does want to reconnect with you strongly. How does this person see Capricorn, the person that's not talking Capricorn? It says Page of Wands. That's not very specific. So they are seeing you as potential, though. But what the page is doing there, I don't know. We got 10. Tell us more about the Page of Wands. Why do they see Capricorn as Page of Wands? Unless some of you have messaged this person. It says Ace of Pentacles reversed. This is almost like suggesting like they see you as somebody they tried to initiate it with and it didn't go anywhere. Which is why it would suggest they're trying to figure out a solution to that. Could this be a person you rejected? It's possible. This almost implies like this person attempted to already do something with you and it didn't work. Why is this person not talking with Capricorn? Well, kind of implies why in my books. It says Three of Swords reversed. So it's almost implying they're just letting things heal or resolve. In plain English, if a Capricorn, if this was for a Capricorn that was, I'm upset with this person about how things ended or whatever happened in the past and you have some bad vibes, this person's basically letting time heal all wounds and then I'll reapproach. In other words, if there's any flack or any problems, I'll just let that kind of blow over before I reapproach. One would ask, is that why they got rejected? I don't know, I'm just speculating, all right? This, to me, could have been also a very, like a situation from a long-ass time ago where there was some pretty bad blood towards this person, or you really felt that, you know, there was something that really bothered you about them. You didn't trust them, you didn't like them, I don't know, Capricorn. But why would they have to do all this effort unless you really didn't trust them? What this person really wants is a mystery. Don't worry, I haven't left. I'm still here. How does Capricorn see this person that they're not talking with? How does it suggest Capricorn sees this person? If they came around to Capricorn, how would Capricorn see it? Says Ace of Swords. So that's not bad here. It's saying you would see this person as somebody wanting to talk or get answers or to just open up communication. So it's not saying you see, and wow, I've got the page here. Again. I'm going to take that because this, and then we have the Three of Swords. I'm going to take that too. This can tell us in some ways, and whether this is true or not, Capricorn, again, you guys are the ultimate judge for yourself, all right? But it would almost imply that it's a Capricorn that almost already knows why this person is there, all right? But again, is that almost implying like a Capricorn that kind of didn't, reject this person or wasn't really sure about them or something like that? It's almost like it's implying like why this person's there. Okay, this Three of Swords can probably suggest to us that maybe you already know that this person, you might perceive it they're still upset or missing you or don't like the idea of you guys being separated. I don't know. That's less likely, but I'm just throwing it out there because it could be the case for some of you. All right. How would Capricorn feel towards this person they're not talking to? How would Capricorn feel? This may not apply to some of you, and it doesn't really matter. It's just for me. It says Two of Pentacles, and it goes over the Three of Swords reverse. So it's expressing that some of you may have expressed interest in wanting for things to improve between the both of you. It shows Two of Pentacles. So your attitude is actually not, per se, as negative as I thought. So the question is more than what is causing the stalling then. What is the challenge or the barrier, or what is stalling the situation between Capricorn and this person they're not talking with? Is evidently something I'm not seeing here. So it says Queen of Swords reversed and a Queen of Cups upright. So this is suggesting a Capricorn, and this is where the confusion is, because it's saying that it's a Capricorn that, irregardless of what you're going to tell me in the comments, still has emotional interest in this person, but for some reason is not being cooperative when it comes to the communication part. Either you have this person blocked, or you have other reasons for not wanting to talk with them, or you're being difficult with them because you don't trust them or you're irritated with them. Why is the Queen of Swords reversed? It says the Four of Cups and the Five of Swords. Oh boy. So this is highly suggestive. Very suggestive that it's clarifying that. So a Five of Swords can directly talk about mind games, people playing any type of games with each other. In other words, where it corrodes trust. Because clearly if somebody's dicking you around like that, you're not going to really trust their motives anymore if they keep making shit up or something like that. All right. This can also talk about past behavior that was very, very suggestive of I don't give a F about anybody else. I don't give an F about anybody but myself kind of behavior. Right. Notice in the imagery of this particular version of the Five of Swords, it shows pretty much everyone, one person dead, one person got an arrow in them, one person's like mourning in the Five of Cups energy. That's the depression energy. And then you got this person that's victor with all the swords. Like, I won! I did it! But it asks then, at what cost did you do it? Well, everybody's pretty much destroyed, and there's fire and brimstone everywhere, so I guess it was quite a big cost. So it is a card that sometimes describes a loss for everybody. In other words, somebody that wants to win an argument, at what cost? Well, for some people, they might push it to where they lose everything just to win an argument. You know? Now, am I saying it's this person's like that? I don't know to what extent, Capricorn, but I'm just giving examples because it's showing this queen who normally should be open to communication, who would be willing to have a good talk or discussion, showing that that's not the case. It's showing reversal energy, showing heavy distrust or irritation and stuff, and the clarifications are showing that there was past drama or conflict. And this Four of Cups is telling us that there's also disappointment. Translation, I've been let down more than once, so I already know this is a waste of time. So this tells me like it's a Capricorn that just really doesn't have a whole lot of faith in this person and has frustrations with this person. All right, that could have been why this got rejected and didn't go anywhere. This person seems to, in my books, it's not directly saying it, but if I have to take a guess with this person is aware of certain issues and what they are, but they're trying to figure out a way around it. Why this person is so intrigued with about coming back in the picture, I'll never know. All right, there's obviously some motive here to wants to smooth things over with you. What is this person hiding from Capricorn? Person that is not talking with Capricorn, what would it suggest they're hiding from Capricorn? It says this Knight of Wands reversed. So that is not good. Why is the Knight reversed? Why is the Knight of Wands reversed? And we have the Knight here. Maybe I'll take that over the Knight. So we have the Knight of Wands reversed going to the Knight here. So this is telling us that this person is really not sure. They're not confident in their decision. So once again, and this can also talk about somebody starting something and then bouncing out. The Knight is very notorious for this in the tarot when it's reversed, because again, it can be somebody that surprises you with flowers and takes you out, and 2 weeks later they're gone. And you're like, what the hell is the point of that? It doesn't really explain it here, but it's saying that that is something they wouldn't be revealing to you. Why would this person, what would be causing them to be a Knight of Wands energy reversed towards Capricorn? What is contributing to the Knight of Wands being reversed in this person's energy? I don't know if we can answer this, but it says because of walking away. What the fuck? I can't really tell, Capricorn, if that is suggesting something slightly ominous, because one, I could almost read that like this person, if they've had a history of leaving the situation more than once, it's almost, if that is true, like you would say that, yes, this person has come around and left like 4 or 5 times, it would almost imply they would do that again. All right? If you do not know this person to have done that, in other words, you've broken up once or maybe only twice, all right, then all that is saying at that point is that they're concerned about the situation, having to leave the situation again. So there would be, again, showing uncertainty of whether this will even work or not. All right, so 2 very different meanings, so you would have to really be honest with yourself about that to make a conclusion. All right. Anyways, Capricorn, that was a long reading. That's what I got for you. Overall, this seems like a person that has, looks like you've had some problems with in the past. It does not seem like it's gone very smooth, all right? It does suggest that you had love and affection for this person, and still, according to the tarot, still do. All right, but it's almost showing that the logical side of the brain is telling you, nope, we shouldn't be dealing with this person. Despite what the heart wants, it's not a good idea. All right, this tells me that this person is problematic or has a problematic side that I'm not fully seeing here. But irregardless, even if that is true, it is still showing them in some type of strategic energy to get around that. In other words, just got to find the right buttons to push, and Capricorn will open that door. All right? In my opinion, if they are successful in doing that, you might actually open the door. Because according to tarot, it says some of you would actually entertain it. All right? Doesn't mean to say you're confident. It just says you would entertain it. All right? And again, I told you what the outcomes with what they're hiding there could be. One is very negative and one's kind of not so negative, but just more of a concern. All right. So that's what I got for you, Capricorn. Good luck to you and this peach. That's all I can really say. All right. This outstanding member of society. They just gotta get around it. Aquarius. Tell me about the person our Aquarius are not talking to. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? And what can the Aquarius Collective know about this person? It says the Three of Wands. We have some Aries energy. This is somebody that is doing nothing, but still kind of waiting around. All right. What does this mean for you? It means they're doing nothing, all right? But they're expecting something to happen. So this person is either, one, expecting you to do something, or two, this person is just waiting, doing nothing. Clarify the Three of Wands. Card comes out. It says Temperance. So it can also imply here waiting for the right time with Temperance. Temperance is a harmony card. All right. If something is chaotic or not going well between the both of you, it would not be a wise idea to approach someone. Whenever Temperance is reversed, it's typically going to indicate the outcome is likely going to be negative. All right. Because there's something that doesn't work. It's saying the opposite here. This person is being patient, whoever this person is. Just gotta wait for the right time, because I know how Aquarius is. How does this person feel about Aquarius? This person that's not talking to the Aquarius, it suggests is waiting for the right time, or something around that. How do they feel towards Aquarius? It says Judgment. Okay. How else do they feel? The person that's not talking to Aquarius. It says Ten of Cups. So this is a person that still has interest in you. Ten of Cups. Given that Ten of Cups is here, this has to be somebody that already knows you, Aquarius, quite well. I'm not seeing anything negative about this person. How does this person see Aquarius? person that is not talking with Aquarius, how do they currently see Aquarius? Card comes out, says they see you as guarded or defensive, or cautious towards them. Why is this person not talking with Aquarius? So the Seven of Swords is horizontal here. And it went over the Ten of Cups. Clarify the Seven of Swords horizontal. What else can we know about that? Says the world reversed. Oh, Lord. This is a little confusing here, Aquarius. It's saying the reason I'm not talking with you is something that was a bit of a failure or didn't work out, but it's also suggesting potentially something was found out or hasn't been found out that they're trying to avoid or evade. So it's like this energy is a little odd. I'm still not 100% on that, but it's like showing avoidance to some extent, or being horizontal. It's possible that maybe they're concerned that you know something. Not too confident in that. How does Aquarius see this person they're not talking to? Card comes out. Says the Six of Cups. That's not negative at all. Why does Aquarius see this person as Six of Pentacles? Says Nine of Cups. It's not bad. Let's look at your feelings. How does Aquarius feel towards this person they're not talking to? We have the Hangman. So this is saying it's almost implying that you see them as doing well. How does Aquarius feel towards this person they're not talking to? Justice. Clarify the Hangman. Why is that in Aquarius' feelings on how Aquarius feels towards this person they're not talking to? Says the Hermit reversed. What to do about the situation? Why does Aquarius view this person as Six of Pentacles and Nine of Cups? What is the reason for that? Oh, God, come on now. So I have the Queen here. So that is, okay, well, that doesn't make sense to me, but it is saying in some ways that you still have interest towards this person. Which is surprising. if Aquarius sees this person in a favorable light, then why is it not going anywhere? It says 9 of Pentacles reversed. What does that have to do with this person? The person that Aquarius is not talking with. It says 3 of Wands reversed. So it's not going on. So 9 of Pentacles, when it's reversed, is not a good card because it can talk about somebody that unfortunately is there for the wrong reasons. All right? Or not available. All right? This is somebody that is available. The reversal can be somebody telling you they're available when they're not. It can also be somebody that's showing up for the wrong reasons. I'm just not really making sense of some part of this reading here, Aquarius. Here's the thing, like, let me ask this. What is the core challenge between Aquarius and this person? What is the biggest issue or problem that I'm not seeing? It says 9 of Swords, which is heavy energy. What is the concern around? Clarify the 9 of Swords. And this is going to be pretty much the last card we'll be doing. And we have Lovers reversed. I'm going to take that. And there's a Tower. 2. And Judgment. I'm going to take all of that. No, I won't take all of that. I'll take the Lovers reversed. All right. Here's my final impression here, Aquarius. Obviously, I can't spend all day on this reading. All right. Overall, this seems to be like a person of some sort that, for whatever reason, it shows. There's a lot of conflictions in this reading because it's basically saying that, well, given that this is if you're not talking with them, it implies that both of you have separated at some point. Number one. The second thing is that while there is no communication, this person is hoping that you guys will start talking again. All right, but it seems like they're waiting for the right time. What is driving this person to do that? It's almost implying that this person is missing certain things, whether it's attention that we're getting from you or the way things were, the conversations you had, or something, I don't know, they feel that is still compatible between you and them. All right. Judgment can talk about a new beginning, can also talk about if this person feels now that their life path maybe aligns with you, or maybe you have similar goals or something like that. Who knows? You know, people change all the time, but it's suggesting some sort of interest in you or confidence around that. All right. The problem is that if you haven't talked with this person in a while, then, you know, it's hard to say if they're just fantasizing that or if it's like grounded and factual, right? So this person, as I said, for whatever reason, sees you as guarded towards them. In other words, they wouldn't be able to just walk through the front door. It's like you're not arms wide open to them, which tells me that there is some issue that you have with this person, all right? This situation seemed to have become stuck or stagnant or something. It says almost in your feelings like that it was still an issue with this person. There's still some interest that's showing on an Aquarius side to kind of resolve this, or hopefully things will have a better outcome or balance out. There still seems to be interest from an Aquarius side towards this person. For what reason, I don't know. But this person also, as I said, seems to be concerned about whether something was exposed or found out about them. I'm still not 100% if I'm honest about what this is entirely really pointing to. But in my books, it's something that's not quite positive. It's more on the negative side. Other concerns about this person is the potential that they were there for the wrong reasons, or kind of suggesting they were available when they were actually not, or they were getting involved with other things. All right. This could have high potential for the situation to have been maybe a little bit one-sided. In other words, one person was putting more effort than the other, or telling the person things and not really delivering on that. Doesn't mean to say that they weren't entirely invested in the situation. It's just saying that they had more than one agenda, right? So it's like, I want a connection with Aquarius, but I kind of almost want something extra on the side, right? It's saying in the past that there was a concern. This is what should have been going on, but the reversal is telling us that there was a disconnect and it was causing concern or stress. If I had to take a guess, it was probably more on the Aquarius side, wondering, is this person actually with me, or are they just telling me that? Right? This Seven of Swords, the fact that it's showing on this person's energy tells me that they, could be a bit of a schemer. What is this person hiding from Aquarius? This person may not reveal a lot about their true nature. We'll ask this, and this will be the last question, Aquarius. What is this person that is not talking with Aquarius? What are they hiding from Aquarius? It says the Knight of Wands reverse. I just got this for Capricorn. And you got the same thing here. So maybe check out Capricorn's reading. Maybe that had something to do with it. Well, actually, no. Their reading was slightly different, but they also got the Knight of Wands in what this person was hiding. Tell us about the Knight of Wands reverse. Why would this person hide that from Aquarius? It says the Queen of Cups. And it did go over to Judgment. What would that mean for Aquarius? So that's your side. So this is, again, showing that favorability to them. But Knight of Wands is not a good energy to have to that, because that can show somebody that's again, going hot and cold, or what does the Knight of Wands reversed mean for Aquarius? What would that mean for Aquarius? It's more stress. It's going to be, I don't know, Aquarius. So here's the biggest problem that I have with this reading. All right, I don't want to be ultra negative, because the reality is, when I think about it sometimes, maybe there's a chance there's something else here that I'm not seeing. But this to me sounds to me, or looks to me and sounds to me, like this person may have some issue around this, where there's a repeating pattern of showing interest or being interested and then pulling back or something like that. One of the other concerns is that this person may almost know that you are vulnerable to it. I don't know if it's a looks thing or an attraction thing, or maybe there's some other reason for it. I'm not saying that you're falling all over for this person, Aquarius. I'm not saying that. But it's just showing some type of energy where this person views that you have some type of vulnerability to them. All right? And again, I don't want to make that sound like a malicious or something. I don't really truly know what their intentions are. But it does seem questionable, is what I'm saying. All right? This in and out and lack of commitment kind of energy says that if this was a problem before, you wondering where you stand with this person, it's implying it'll happen again. And this person's hiding that. In other words, the very problem that you had before with them, it's saying will happen again. But this person doesn't feel... there's only one reason you would hide that. Is because they already know it's been an issue before with them. What is causing that is another question. I don't know. All right? And I don't want to go down a rabbit hole trying to figure that out. All right? There's something driving that person to do that. All right? What is bizarre about this reading is that while I tell you that, it is still nonetheless showing their feelings that they have some interest in you. But for some reason, is it a commitment issue? What truly causes them to do that? Or is it malicious? Like this person just wants more than one thing. It's like, as I said earlier, I'll have a little bit of Aquarius and a little bit of someone else too. The person may not like the idea of being locked down just to one person. And they may not like the idea of full commitment. I don't know. It's like, I do care about you. I just don't want full commitment. Good luck to you, Aquarius. This person seems like a barrel of monkeys. I don't know. Pisces. Pisces. Finally, you are the last sign, as always. Tell me about a person our Pisces are not talking to. Who is this person? What can we know about them? Person that's not talking with Pisces. It says a Emperor reversed. All right. This could be a fire sign. I'm not going to talk too much about this card just yet because there's a lot of negative things with the Emperor reversed. But again, I don't know what context. All right, let's see how they feel towards you. Tell me about the person our Pisces are not talking to. How does this person feel towards Pisces? How do they feel? So it shows Three of Cups. How else do they feel towards Pisces? So it says the Four of Swords horizontal. What is their interest? No, actually, no. Tell us about the Emperor reversed. What is causing the Emperor to be reversed? So we have walking away energy here too. So it's Devil. Okay, well. So this could be a person here, Pisces, that unfortunately has some issues. All right. Some unusual behaviors. All right. Devil energy with the Emperor can imply here some type of unorthodox relationships. Polyamory is a thing here. All right. This can talk about, again, I hate saying this, but it can potentially talk about narcissism. All right, here. Emperor reversed as bad leadership qualities. It is somebody that is supposed to be mature, should be for their age, focusing on things that are current for their age. I don't know, if you're 50, maybe worrying about your career, your job, your family should be blooming at that point. Having, going somewhere or looking for something stable. If you're in your 40s, your 30s, again, trying to start a business, maybe trying to meet someone, show up, embody leadership qualities, trying to be a family man or wanting to do things like that. showing confidence, right? Having people know that they can depend on you. Those are all Emperor qualities, all right? But the reversal is saying there's a lacking in that department. Evidently, somebody is shafting that to do other things. Again, somebody that could be, you know, comes into situations, lies and tells somebody something and then does the opposite. That's the case here. Somebody that is like, I don't want kids. I don't care. Don't even care for that. Just want to, you know, Netflix and you know what. There's so many things. Could have alcohol problem, drug problem here. Could be a thing here. That's strong resonance with this combo here. Somebody that just, again, and it's showing in their energy, 3 of Cups. This could be a person that likes to party, likes to have fun, or likes to hook up. Sex could be a strong thing with this person. I don't know why. I feel like the last time, I can't remember what your reading and mystery person was, but I seem to recall it wasn't super good. But this is not showing any better here. The devil can also talk about weird attachments, and it's also like the other possibility is certain issues that keep going on with this person that they're unaware of or can't seem to escape. What is this person that's not talking with Pisces? What is their concern with 4 of Swords? It says walking away. So this person is still in transition energy. Essentially, whenever the situation left, ended, or broke off, this can be a timeout energy where there's space between the both of you. The reversal can be coming back in the picture or having the option to do so, right? It's showing in question with this person. Why would it suggest that? Because it's probably implying they want to come back around to see what you're doing. If you know this person to be very lusty or sexual or want sex, there's a strong possibility that is driving this person. All right. How does this person see Pisces? We also have 5. This person may feel disconnected from you. May not like that. How do they see Pisces? Person that's not talking with Pisces. So I have Queen of Wands reversed and the Strength reversed. So this person sees it from that you essentially aren't trying anymore or you've given up. All right. The Queen of Wands reversed in worst case scenario can be quite negative to this person. All right. Oddly enough, it seems like you would be matching their energy. I'm not saying that you're going off the deep end, you're Pisces. For a small percentage of you, you could be. All right. In other words, you're both made for each other. But for most of you, that won't be the case. But this can simply just mean that you're choosing not to take action towards them. The Strength reverse can be seen as you're viewing this person as an ongoing issue, or there are things this person does that cannot be fixed as far as you're concerned. What's the point? Not going to waste more time on it. Okay. Third parties would be very strong with this person. We don't really get too much third party stuff in my reads, but this is possible here. Why is this person not talking with Pisces? The person that is not talking with Pisces, why are they not talking? Well, I have 10 of Swords showing up here. So it says Page of Wands. That's conflicting. Clarify the Page of Wands. So it's actually suggestive they are wanting to talk. Clarify the Page of Wands. Saying because it's depending on you. This person may strongly be waiting on you to message them. All right. There's the Queen right there. And it's going to a messaging card. So why this person is not talking with you, it's strongly suggestive they're waiting or hoping that you're going to message them. Hey, I know I shouldn't be talking with you, and I just wanted to wish you a congratulations on the job promotion. I don't work. Oh, your birthday. It's not my birthday. Oh, then for reaching 1,000 followers in TikTok, I don't have a TikTok. Okay, I just wanted to talk. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm not saying you're doing that, Pisces, but it's implying the potential. They're hoping that you're going to reach out to them. In other words, what better way to crack the ice than to have good old Pisces reach out rather than me? Because then it looks better on me. How does Pisces see this person they're not talking to? It says 7 of Cups reversed. So it says you have clarity over them in some ways. Clarify the clarity. Clarify 7 of Cups reversed. Oh, okay. 3 of Pentacles. I'm not confident in that. Clarify the 7 of Cups reversed. Why does Pisces see this person as 7 of Cups reversed? Clarify. So it says Temperance reversed, and it goes over the Queen of Wands. Again, this is suggestive of a Pisces that sees this as a situation that may not be like resolvable, or you don't have much hope in it. All right. This Temperance being horizontal is quite negative because it's telling us that there's already uncertainty on whether it can straighten out or not. But with the 7 of Cups being reversed is telling us, well, this could even be a worsening. Rarely it is, but it's possible it could even be a worsening where it's a Pisces that just really is confused on whether, like, what this is or if it can even work or not. All right. In other words, they're still implying some fantasy that maybe it could. All right. I'm not. Some people hate when I say that, and they're like, Wes, actually, I have a life, okay, and I don't do that. I'm like, I'm not saying that you're spending your entire existence, every waking moment on this person. I'm just saying that some part of you might still kind of not have true transparency on where you stand with this person. In other words, I don't know, if God and the universe really pulled a 180, I might still be interested. All right. On the case that you feel that you're quite, where you stand with this person, then it would just imply that you're not really certain if this could ever work, right? You may feel, if that is true, this person, one of the problems and reasons for that is with the 3 of Pentacles reversed is an I card. This would absolutely be an I person, somebody that keeps coming into pictures and wants the show to be about them. And it's like, I have a real strong problem with worrying about other people other than myself. What is the challenge between Pisces and this person? It says 9 of Pentacles. Why is that a challenge? Clarify the 9 of Pentacles. So this is talking about somebody being single and available for a long-term connection, or making themselves known that they're ready for something like that. And then we have the 3 of Swords again. Here's my final summary and impression of whoever this person is, Pisces. Overall, one thing is clear, is that whoever's energy this is somebody that most certainly has a problem, and it's suggestive of potential commitment problems, locking them down. I gave you a laundry list of reasons on what could be causing the Emperor to be reversed. Is there a degree of narcissism? Is there a third party situation kind of thing going on? Hopefully not, all right? If it's none of those, this person may have just problems with, again, wanting to explore other options, doesn't like the idea of being locked down. Their energy strongly suggests that. All right, it's even showing that as a potential problem. All right, again, there's some reference about third parties. Here's a strong suggestion here. This person may have slightly unorthodox views on things. All right, it almost implies that from your standpoint, you're aware that there's imbalance with this person, but there's still some curiosity towards them. All right. This person kind of also gets the impression that you're not putting effort towards them, or you by and large given up to them. But in my opinion, doesn't seem to. That's probably not going to stop them. All right. What can we expect from this person in the near future? It says 10 of Wands. I don't think I'm going to take that, but we'll note it. What can we expect from this person that's not talking with Pisces in the near future? It says 9. I'm hesitant to take either of those, but I guess we'll read it. Tell us about the 10 of Wands. Why can we expect that? So it is suggesting if there was any worries or worrying about this person, that will subside. But the 10 of Wands is still here. What is that 10 of Wands for? Saying to a new start. So 10 of Wands is like, this combination is telling, because what it's saying here is that with the 10 of Wands, it is a card that can talk about burdens or problems or struggles, but it is pushing to the end, a new chapter. It's one of the 10 the cards of 10, right? So 10, anything in the tarot when it's at the 10 stage is either a beginning of a new chapter or an end of a cycle. And it is directly going to the Fool. So how would Pisces feel about the Fool energy and the person they're not talking to? How would Pisces feel about that? Wow. And it says that you would be open to it. I just find that hard to believe. What is it that changes? What changes to convince Pisces of that? We'll get an answer. What factor would change Pisces to want a new start with this person they're not talking with? What would change? What would change? It says moving the calmer waters. I don't know, Pisces. That is not what I was expecting. All right. This person must have some trick up their sleeve or something that they do, because it is strongly suggesting that somehow, some way, not only is this talking about pushing towards or working on to the idea of a new start or pushing towards that, it's saying that does happen, and it's moving things to better territory. In other words, it's like, let's work on it. Let's improve it. Does this person change something? I don't know. How odd. Does this mean it's going to happen for all of you? No, I'm not saying that. But this seems like a problematic person, and somehow there's a resolution here. I don't know. I don't see it. Whatever. That's what I got for you, Pisces. That was kind of a bizarre ending there, but whatever. Again, some of you are not, I understand, I got it. Some of you are not going to be interested in this person, and you've closed the door for good, and that's fine, okay? But that is not for everybody, so. Good luck. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, I do appreciate you. I know there's a handful of you that leaves the entire video running, which really helps the channel. So thank you for doing that if you are one of them, all right? We'll be doing Spy on Them in the next video. Hopefully some of these readings resonated with some of you, and I, again, always appreciate all of you that leave a like on the video or hype it. But anyways, that's all I got for you. I'll see you next time. Bye.